Longtime viewers of this program, the both of you, know that I'm a big fan of Mystery Science Theater 3000, one of my absolute favorite shows growing up and unto today. And in fact, we even a while back did a special Mystery Science Theater episode where I went back and looked at some of my favorite movies to have been featured on Mystery Science Theater. And when we were doing that, I realized that, well, I didn't realize, I knew this full well, but I was reminded that, you know, for as much of a fan of Mystery Science Theater as I am, I've never seen every episode. There are a lot of episodes of Mystery Science Theater that I've only ever seen part of or that I haven't watched at all. And that's sort of weird because I'm a nerd and I compulsively watch things. But also because a big part of my personal Mystery Science Theater fandom when I got into it in high school was collecting all the episodes. At that time, Mystery Science Theater was on Comedy Central, and we did not get Comedy Central. Instead, I was exposed to the show because for a brief period, MST was syndicated. And in my hometown in South Bend, Indiana, you could watch Mystery Science Theater on Sunday nights at like 2 a.m. on one of the local affiliates. And I would dutifully tape it and watch it every week. And there were not that many episodes. There were maybe a dozen or so that they were able to syndicate, and you'd tape them and watch them again and again and again. And at a certain point, I wanted to see more of them, and so Mystery Science Theater is kind of interesting and unique amongst shows of its era in that it had this really healthy and robust tape trading community online, where you would reach out to other friends and you would trade what episodes you had on videotape to try and amass the collection. And Mystery Science Theater was sort of unique in that they encouraged it. The end of every episode had a little tag on it that said, keep circulating the tapes. The producers, instead of being overly concerned about copyright and intellectual property, really just wanted people to see it. So I got very into tape trading and rapidly amassed the entire series of Mystery Science Theater 3000. And yeah, if you didn't know I was a nerd before. But at any rate, so I have all of them, but I haven't watched them all. So I have embarked on a program of I am now watching every Mystery Science Theater 3000. And because I want some variety, because I think the show can be divided into specific eras, whether that's the Joel era when Joel's the host, or the Mike era when Mike's the host, or even subdivided, like you can look at the Mike era when it's at Comedy Central as versus when it made the move to Sci-Fi Channel. I wanted more variety than watching a bunch of Sci-Fi Channel episodes in a row or something like that. So what I've come up with, the insanity that I am going to, is that I'm watching every episode of Mystery Science Theater in alphabetical order. Yeah, big nerd. So that means we're going to, so I'm going to talk about a bunch of them because I watched a ton of them up front, and then and now I've slowed down, but we're going to talk about a ton of them, and we're going to start with 12 to the Moon. This is a 1960s sci-fi adventure movie about a group of astronauts go to the moon. Black and white, cheapy effects, real, drive-in movie trash. I enjoy this kind of movie from time to time, but I found this one very uninteresting, very dull to watch. And honestly, even the riffing from Mike and the robots could not hold my interest. I just thought this movie was deathly dull. And our reviews here are not going to be for the Mystery Science Theater episode. They're going to be for the movie itself. Is that cheating because I haven't watched it just on its own? Maybe. I don't care. It's my show, man. So 12 to the Moon, super boring, 1 star.